Hello everyone. Let us start our course on signals and system. Here the first chapter is mainly focused upon signals. In this chapter, we are going to study what do we mean by signal, how do we classify signal, how do we represent signal, what are the different basic standard signals, how or what are the different type of transformations that can be applied on the signals. So let us first define what do we mean by signal. In layman's language, anything that conveys information is a signal. Like in your household, if you look at even the refrigerator, washing machine, electronic gadgets like your fitness watch or automobile in your latest cars, there are different type of sensors and instruments which are being used, and they are generating different signals which are giving us or conveying the information. That is the basic definition of a signal. Or we can also define the signal as any physical quantity that varies with respect to some independent variable, which may be time, space, or any another independent variable, or maybe the combination of these. Then that is known as the signal. Mathematically, we say a signal is a function of any independent variable. Suppose the independent variable is time, so we can say this signal y is a function of time t. For example, speech signal is a function of time t. What I am speaking, what happens with them, the acoustic pressure changes with respect to time, due to which when this acoustic signal reaches to your ear, you get the information that what I am speaking. So if we look at the signal, speech signal, graphically, it will look like this. It might be having certain up peaks, certain low peaks, indicating where I am emphasizing more, where I am emphasizing less. Accordingly, the amplitude of the speech is changing. So this is a speech signal. Then another common example of the signal is image, IXY. These days, if you look at, we are dealing with a lot of times the images. We transfer images, we receive images, we capture images. Right now also when you are looking at this video can be also seen as the variation of frames with respect to time. And each individual frame is an image. What is that image is there? This image, if I say, this is some image where there is this dark circle. So what it indicates is that at what point the intensity of pixel or the intensity of that light at that particular point is black or white. So we say that if this is x coordinate and this is y coordinate, so with respect to these spatial coordinates, at any point what is the intensity of light? That is what is being conveyed by this image. And mathematically, we say that this is a grayscale image. Its value will be 0 when it is completely black and 255 when it is completely white. And in between this, having the value, it will be having certain kind of gray shape. So this image is also signal, but it is depending upon the independent variable x and y. That is the spatial coordinates, right? Here speech was varying with respect to time. So the signal may be having any kind of independent variable. So this is the basic definition of signals. Now let us move to classification of signals. How do we classify signals? Signals can be classified depending upon different ways. There are different number of ways based on which we can classify the signals. The first is the nature of the independent variable. Based on the nature of independent variable, we can classify the signals as continuous or discrete. Now, in this subject, in this course, and we will be mainly dealing with the signals where the independent variable is time. So when I am saying the nature of independent variable, so I can call this signal as continuous time signal or discrete time signal. So this is based on the nature of independent variable. Now, what is continuous time signal and what is discrete time signal? Suppose you are having any signal which is giving you the variation of stock price in the market from morning to evening, say at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is some stock whose price is changing. What will happen? The price sometimes will go up, down, low, and like this it will keep on varying. Now what is there? This signal is available at each instant of time. At any instant of time during the day, we can find out what was the stock price. So this signal is varying continuously with time. So that is why we call it as continuous time signal. Whereas if we take another example, suppose we are measuring blood pressure of any patient. Now what happens? The blood pressure, when we measure at some regular interval. We take what was his blood pressure at 9 a.m., what was at 10 a.m., and what was at 11 a.m. Suppose at 9 a.m. the blood pressure was 80, at 10 a.m. it goes to 120, at 11 a.m. it is 100. Now, what is there? This signal is available only at discrete intervals of time, that is only at 9, 10 and 11. If I ask you what is the blood pressure at 9:30, it is not defined, right? So this type of signal which varies at discrete instants of time is known as the discrete time signal. So based on the nature of independent variable, we can say whether the signal is continuous time or discrete time. That is the first way of classifying the signal. Second is based on the nature of the magnitude or the dependent variable. That is nature of dependent variable. Now dependent variable means the magnitude of the signal, right? Now again this can be classified as continuous value or discrete value signals. So again, if we take the same example, if you look at stock price, this value of the stock price can be anything between this some minimum and maximum. Suppose this is 100 and this is 300 units. So between anything, this signal stock price can have any value. It can be 100.1, 100.5, 100.25, 200, like that continuously. But if you look at this, what is there? This can have only discrete values. It can be either 80 or 100 or 120. The calibrated instrument is giving you only the values 80, 100, 120. You cannot have the value between like 110 or 90. So that is the discrete value. So this type of signal whose values are discrete in nature is known as discrete valued signal, and whose values are continuous, a signal which can have continuously any value between minimum and maximum is known as the continuous values. Now, earlier you have heard of two very important signals. One is analog and digital. When we ask anybody what do you mean by analog signal and anybody what do you mean by digital signal, some of the general answer is sinusoidal signal is analog the signal, and any signal which is having value 0 and 1 is digital signal. Right? But actually the more proper definition of any analog signal is any signal which is continuous in time as well as continuous in value is known as analog signal. Like this, it has to be continuous in both the terms. Whereas any signal which is discrete in time and discrete in value is known as digital signal. So this signal, actually if you look at it, it is not a pure digital signal because it is continuously defined from this time to this t1. It is having 1. So it is discrete in magnitude, that is it can have only 2 values, 0 and 1, but continuous in time. So the pure digital signal is which is discrete in time as well as discrete in magnitude, right? So that is the second way of classifying the signals based on the nature of dependent variable. Then thirdly, we can classify the signal based on the number of independent variables. Number of independent variables. Based upon this, we can classify the signal as one-dimensional, or multi-dimensional. Now, what we mean by this? Just earlier, we have discussed speech signal x is a function of time t, where acoustic pressure was varying with respect to time t. And we discussed another signal, image, which was varying with respect to spatial coordinates x and y. Now, if you look at this, here the independent variable is only one, time t. Here we have two independent variables, x coordinate and y coordinate. So this is one-dimensional signal and this is multi-dimensional signal or bidimensional, two-dimensional signal. Same way, if we look at video, it is x, y, and t. As we discussed, that video is consisting of a set of frames which varies with respect to time. So that time comes over here. So it becomes three-dimensional. So that is the one-dimensional and multi-dimensional classification of signals. Then further, we can classify the signals based on number of sources. Number of sources. It can be single channel or multi-channel. Now, what we mean by this, single channel and multi-channel? When we are measuring the signal from a single sensor, it is known as single channel. And when we are measuring it from a multiple sensors, it is called as multi-channel. If you look at blood pressure machines, it is measuring the blood pressure only from one point, right? You have seen that. Then you might have seen in the movies that there are different sensors are being placed on the bodies of a human being, one at this place, one at this, and then at back, or other, to measure some kind of EEG or other signals. There it becomes a multi-channel. Or the simple definition or example may be, if we look at any grayscale image, that is like this black and white image what we are looking at this place. At certain places it is completely white, certain places it is completely black, certain places it is grayish in nature. So it is coming from a single channel having the range of values between 0 to 255. But if you look at colored image, then in your childhood, if you remember, we were able to make any color by the combination of the basic colors RGB. So same principle is applied over here. We measure three different wavelength based signals, RXY, IYXY, RGB. So RG, IG and IB. Then each of these channels will give a range of values between 0 to 255. Then when we combine this, three signals coming from three different channels, it gives us one single image, IXY, which is color. So now this is coming from three channels, so this is multi-channel. And this was coming from single channel, so this is single channel, right? Although both are multi-dimensional, both are having two dependent variables. So both are multi-dimensional, but this is multi-channel and this is single channel. So there is a difference between multi-dimensional and multi-channel. So you have to be careful in this. So this is the basic how we can classify the signals into different types. Now, based on the properties, any continuous time or discrete time or any continuous value or discrete value signal can further be classified into periodic, non-periodic, even, odd, energy, power, different type of signals. That we will take up later on. First, we will understand the representation and the transformation on the signal, and then we will discuss that classification again. Thank you.